Good morning. All right, unloaded in the morning. Oh, it's still morning. Well, maybe it's not. It says it's 12:04. It's Alberta time, so maybe that's why I'm not hungry yet. Give it half an hour. And we drove here to Airdrie, about 7 kilometers east of Airdrie. There's Scott's Canada mulch and soil and steer manure and stuff like that. Gardening soil. Picked up a load of gardening soil. 3 different drops. First drop is Fernie, second drop is Cranbrook, and third drop is in Trail. Beautiful day in the prairies. It was drizzling a little bit first thing in the morning, but it's got pretty clear here. Got that classic prairie look. Big wide open golden fields, blue sky. If you look at the horizon, you can see Rocky Mountains. So this is Airdrie. Thinking, where am I going to have to do a load secure? Is it going to have to be like in the middle of Calgary? I think I'm just going to take Deerfoot right through Calgary.
In 700 meters, take the ramp on the right to Highway 2 South toward Calgary.
And then when I do my load secure, make sure I pull over somewhere so I can have lunch. Highway 2 South, please. Man, my teeth are just grinding on dirt. So windy there, so got the dust from all the yard coming across. Definitely a good little dust storm going on there.
Take the ramp on the right to Highway 2 South toward Calgary.
limit's 110 on this highway. So pedal to the metal. Oh yeah, and of course we'll be driving into the sun in this direction. Darn, didn't think of that.
Continue on Highway 2.
Which means we're going to drive into the sun the rest of the day because we're going to drive south for the next 2 hours. And then we'll drive west. In those 2 hours, the sun will have gone far enough west that we'll be driving into the sun there too. Oh well. People merge on and off by running the center lane. If there's a lot of merging on and off, I'll run the center lane, but because I'm slower than most other vehicles, I'll usually run in the right lane. But in towns like this, we'll run the center lane. Now, if the speed limit was 100 kilometers per hour, I would just stay in the center lane. Period. Just stay there because I'd be doing the speed limit, but right now I'm doing 104, which is as fast as a truck can run with the speed limiter on it. Thinking where the next scale is. Is there one here north of Calgary? I know there's one as you exit Calgary, or northbound there's a scale, but I don't think there's one southbound here. Excuse me. I think all that dust I ate isn't helping the, well, I always have the cough, but the dust isn't helping it. That was the scale right there on the left hand side. It's usually open. Usually open. We're way underweight. This gardening soil. It was pretty light stuff. In fact, I think we could run into the US with this load. I didn't take a look at the gauges that close, but I bet they were legal for the US. Getting cloudier further south. To the left-hand side there, you can see the skyscrapers of Calgary downtown.
Narrow lanes were reported on Highway 2.
21 kilometers, so is that in town? There must be construction in town. So do I still want to stay on Deerfoot? If there's narrow lanes, construction, it'll slow us down a bit. But who's to say the other route doesn't have construction as well? I think we'll just go right through Calgary. Stony Trail. That would be my exit. So if I wanted to go around town, around the city, and we're not going through downtown, we're staying kind of east of the city, but we're still going through the city. If I wanted to go around the city, I would exit here, go a little bit east, and then head south. So it's about 4 kilometers longer. Doesn't really make a big difference unless during rush hour it would make a difference. And usually I go around, so let's go through it for once. Well, last night I went through it as well. I did see a short section of construction, but it didn't look like anyone was getting slowed down. Not by much anyway. Huge warehouses. Stone Gate Landing. I think the northeast corner of Calgary is just warehouses. And a Walmart has their main warehouse right here, the one that serves all of Western Canada is here in Calgary. Pretty darn cool touring that facility. Pretty much all computerized. Rockies that you see in on on the horizon, kind of right there in front of us, slightly left. Those would be down by Waterton Park. Think Glacier National Park in the US. That would be the mountains down there. I believe the speed limit is reduced to 100 here somewhere. I mean, I'll have to slow down 4 kilometers, but yeah, Highway 2 through Calgary is pretty much all on the bottom of a little valley, so you don't really see much city. Okay, squeaky. What's squeaking? Oh, it's the curtain. The curtain to make the bunk private is rubbing against the back of my chair. Not the slowest vehicle over here. 100. Reduce it by 2 clicks. So I'm not going to buy a second suction cup mount. I have decided not to. I'm just going to buy more sticky mounts because I cannot rely on that suction cup mount for outside. Because even with the window completely cleaned up, the suction cup nice and clean, sucked it on, it lasted about 3-4 hours and then it loosened off. So I can't rely on having a okay, minivan. Can you pick a speed? I guess I did slow down for the 100 kilometers. Can't rely on the suction cup mount for outside. I'll have to buy a bunch of mounts when they're back in stock. That's 3 trailers he's dragging. Calgary skyscrapers have gotten a bit closer. Crazy blue car cut off the Kia. Crazy blue car's front bumper is hanging partially loose. I suspect I'm not a very good driver. paint job on this truck. The white and the green like that, that is nice looking paint job. Put the Sutco green on there instead of that green. I like that truck. That car just cut off the rig. I'm getting hungry now. Gotta do a load secure in about 40 kilometers, so I can do it before that. So once we leave Calgary here, I'll find a place to pull over. Nice parks here. It looks like their parks are still open. They haven't closed the parks down for COVID-19 in BC. They've closed all the parks. Yeah, I like the paint job of that truck. Good job. I like it. Definitely old school truck. That's what I would like to be running right there. Either in that paint job or reverse the colors so the green and the whites were reversed. Both would look really good. Downtown Calgary is beside us, kind of past us now. Looks like my load is behaving, which is good. All the bundles were wrapped really nicely, so it wasn't too hard to strap it down. I'm actually surprised that this highway isn't 3 lanes. Well, I mean 6 lanes all the way through the city. Just a short section here, it goes down to 4 lane. I guess it's 3 lanes on the other side. It might be 2 lanes exiting the city and 3 lanes entering the city. I thought it went down to 2 lanes on the other side too, but I'm not 100% sure where it went down to 2 lanes. A lot of people merging on. This is pretty painless. I'm glad I went this way. Left cruise control on the whole way through so far. Been ready to hit the brakes the whole time, but kind of you just gotta watch for everybody that might cut you off. Yeah, it looks like there's only 2 lanes for a short little section there. Pretty much out of Calgary, the outskirts anyway. This road could use a new surface, I think. Never mind, there's more Calgary here. Looks like lots of residential zone here. So I got a friend that works in a hardware store, and she just goes, their sales have gone way up. Hardware stores are busy. It's like, oh, all these people at home are heading to hardware stores because they're like, well, I'm stuck at home for the next month. Let's do all these special projects that we've been talking about doing forever. So everybody's doing renovations and building decks and doing their own little projects. Going uphill, I know I'll be slower, so there's a rig behind us that's been consistently catching up with us, so we'll make it easier for him to pass. Looks like it's an old school Peterbilt. Now I just gotta watch for all this merging traffic. Ready to hit the brakes. So a lot of them might not actually merge. They might just be coming on and then exiting again. Although Deerfoot Trail here is 4 lanes. Cool. Okay. Oh boy. Don't do that close to a big rig. I wouldn't appreciate someone cutting me off like that. For essential workers only, there seem to be a lot of essential workers out here. But then again, Alberta hasn't been nearly as strict on COVID-19 as BC has been. And that makes sense now why there were so many...
Any of the 3 left lanes.
Why there's so many Albertan RVs coming to BC, because they're going, life is almost normal. But you get to BC and life is not normal. I'm good in this lane. Guns and hoses. Guns and hoses. When they're saying guns, I'm thinking they mean, by the picture, nail guns and staple guns. So basically air tools. lane is ending. People made space. Lane ends again. Now we're actually leaving Calgary. Oh look, my lane ends again. Center lane with four-way flashers on. Oh, he merged right. Good. That's where we belong if we got four-way flashers on. Unless it's two slow guys passing each other. Should never be three slow guys passing each other here. In fact, I think they should make a science in no trucks in the left lane. Whenever there's more than two lanes, trucks should be quarantined to the right two lanes. That way we can still pass each other, but stay out of the left lane. Not that I stay out of the left lane. Don't be a hypocrite here. I go in the left lane every now and then when I'm completely empty up a steep hill and there's slow traffic in the right two lanes. I'll dip into the left lane and cut past someone else. But there should be a law that says I'm not allowed to do that. Kind of like Spokane in Washington has a law. There are signs that say you're not allowed in the left lane. And I'm getting slow enough for four-way flashes as well. See, this should be the only situation that somebody with four-way flashes should be in the center lane. My opinion. And And if I'm slow enough, I need four-way flashers. For sure, I would never go in the left lane as a slow driver. But if I'm fast, then I'll do the left lane until they make it illegal. Simpler way would be make it illegal to go below the speed limit. Go minimum speed in the left lane 100 kilometers per hour. That would keep any slow big rigs out of that lane. And if I was fast and empty, I could go in that lane. That'd probably be a good way of doing it. Left lane must be within 10 kilometers of the speed limit. Find a place to have lunch. see miles and miles and miles. Top of a small hill, you can just see so many miles of farmland. I saw 3 big tractors on the fields. I saw a big Case IH Steiger tractor with a looked a bit like a cultivator. Wasn't ripping it, it wasn't deep. Looked like a cultivator. And then I saw 2 quad tracks with these huge seed carts seeding fields. So farmers are out, they're working their fields. Alright, we're back in the mountains. Just did my load secure. That's what she looks like. Now all the straps, every time I stop, I click them at once. Well, most of them. The shorter pallets I can't click in, but the taller ones, you can always shuffle around, move around, and you can tighten them up a bit. But the tall one on the back here, you see the extra strap I threw on there? The wrap was coming apart and the bag on top just sitting there completely loose. So I threw another strap on there to keep everything really nice and tight. Don't need to be driving down the highway losing any stuff on the highway. So I'm glad I saw that there when walking around securing the load before I lose anything. Or before the people in the scale catch me. Well, like I always said in the past, I'd rather have them catch me than lose stuff on the highway. So she's nice and tight now. I'll keep an eye on, well, all of it, but especially that one that was falling apart. And you notice that some of the bundles had 1 strap, some had 2. Just depend on how and where the strap was. Legally, they all need 1 strap. I've seen people drive away with no straps on these things, only if they were tarping it. Because they figure if they can throw a tarp over it, nobody will see that they're missing straps. They're still hanging out of the bottom. The straps, you can still see them out of the bottom of the tarp, so I don't know. Seems silly not to put a strap on everything. Downright dangerous. Having said that, anything heavy, it's not going to move. It's going to stay there unless you make an emergency stop. It's not going to do anything. But in an emergency, I wouldn't want to be beside the guy that decided not to strap down. I always overstrap. And then I do real load secures. I stop and actually walk around, pull up my bar, and try to see if any of the straps can tighten.
Stop sign.
Especially with loads like this, I could pull that bar out and try every single strap. If it's big loads of lumber, I won't pull the bar out. I'll just walk around. I'll touch the straps, kind of like pluck them like a guitar string, and see if they still sound tight. But with a load like this,
continue on Highway 3.
I'll snug up every single one. Oh, here come 2 big rigs around the corner. Hammer down, hammer down. scale is closed, so it's a good spot to stop and do a good load secure. Talking to Jess, and she found out that as of the 14th, to cross the US-Canadian border, even for our essential workers, it is mandatory for us to wear masks. I'm like, I did not know that. I don't have a mask. I'm sure somewhere along the line someone spoke moistly onto a border crossing guard and got COVID-19 or something like that, so it makes sense that they would like us to all wear masks to protect themselves, right? So makes sense. I just got to find some masks if I get a US run. Dispatch said that they have ordered a whole bunch. They just haven't come in yet, so when they come in, I'll have to ask for a few. They don't have to be surgical masks, it just has to be a mask. I guess I could just throw a shirt around my head and tie the sleeves or something to. I don't have a t-shirt or anything on board, but figure that out if I get a border crossing. So I took an hour and a half off for lunch. I googled when the store I'm delivering the soil to here in Fernie closes. Receiving closes at 3, but the store closes at 5:30. So I'm like, okay, I'll take an hour and a half off. That way I should arrive after the store is closed. The parking lot should be empty and it'll be easy for me to pull in and park there, set up, so I can just drive straight out tomorrow. I can undo the straps tonight, and tomorrow morning they can unload me. So I played Farming Sim 19 for an hour and a half. That's not true. I did all the paperwork first. Probably took half an hour or so, maybe a little more. So really I played Farm Sim for less than an hour. This is the corner. Drove the truck right into the ditch on that corner. Tell you what, there's not many corners here where you could drive a truck into the ditch and have no damage to a truck. That might be the only corner you can do that on. Oh, there's a train over there. So I count myself very blessed. It could have been much, much worse, ending up in a ditch in BC with no damage. Train's got a light out. Those are probably empty. These are all potash cars. Hey, I think we shot video here yesterday. Welcome to Sparwood. That seems like a nice long train. Don't see engine in the center. Don't think I missed it, but wonder if there is no engine in the center. Might be one pusher engine on the back, if that, maybe nothing. They'd definitely be empty. Yeah, they're definitely empty. Just two engines up front. A little risky there, car. Just a little risky. Still had enough room, but it was a little on the tight side. I think these cars are just sitting here. There's probably no engine attached to them. I could be wrong. They're really small cars, so they probably carry heavy. Oh, and they share axles. So each car only has one set of axles there. Every now and then you see a set that has two axles, but oh, they're actually, not only do they share axles, they share beds. They overlap each other, so they're just really long cars. Interesting. Excuse me. Yeah, just really, really long cars. Multiple cars attached to each other, so you would assume that whatever they put in there is going to be solid. It can't be powder or liquid or gravel or anything like coal or anything like that, because the overlap, you would be constantly losing product out of the overlap. But I don't know. That loader had a flat tire and getting a new tire. But you guys saw this stretch of highway yesterday, so I'll do one more little clip in Fernie as we pull into the yard. Hopefully it all goes to plan. We'll see. See if my plan works out. About 10 kilometers out of Fernie. small little tedder there. Beautiful mountains, but it looks like it's snowing up there. Logging equipment sitting in the yard here. A lot of trucks, a lot of cutters, a lot of, I guess with spring breakout up there, the logging roads are just mud, so they can't pull any trees off now. So loggers are out. They're done. So that's why right now all the lumber mills have these huge stockpiles of lumber, because they know they have to stockpile them before spring breaks out, because you can't go up in those mountains and get any trees down because it's too muddy. Second I thought I missed my stop there. I'm like, wait, isn't that where I'm going? But no, I'm not going to Home Hardware today. I am going to Canadian Tire.
In 1 kilometer, turn left on 9th Avenue.
You guys have Home Hardwares in the US? Home Hardwares are basically just hardware stores, just your Menards and stuff like that. Canadian Tires are like smaller versions of Lowe's, but they also have automotive. So imagine a Lowe's and a Napa put together. This one's actually a very small. Oh, there's still lots of cars on that yard. Okay, what am I doing? What is my plan? Okay, I think
Turn left at the
I
traffic
see a
light.
plan. Truck parked here. Not sure how he's going to be part of the plan. Run anything over. Nope, just barely not curbing that. All right. I'm gonna go take a look. But that to me seems like a perfect plan, since everybody's leaving. Store is closed half an hour ago, so it's probably just employees parked here. And I'm right beside the garden center, so it should work out. So thanks guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys rock.